So this video is going to be an updated Magic Mail Merge demo video. It's been quite a while since I did the original video of the tutorial, so what I'd like now to show you a full demo using all the features currently available in Magic Mail Merge. So the first thing we're going to do is load up Magic Mail Merge and run for the first time. So you can do this on any Google Sheet you have, and when you run for the first time, what it's going to do is it's going to copy across the required worksheet. So we'll give it our permissions for what it's going to use, and we continue, select all, and we continue. Brilliant. So you can see the worksheets coming in now. So sheet 1 is entirely up to you. If you want to keep it and use it, that's fine. You can just delete it. The most important worksheet is this one called email template. The email it will send always has to be in A1. So A1 is where you release it. Okay, so the first time you do this, you will get a free trial as well. So when in A1, what we need to do is make sure that our email we've written is going to be in there. And I've got an example class here that I can use. So with the example class, I'm going to add the email address. If I just add my email address to all of them so that the email can come to me all. But you know, you've got the example names here and stuff, and just add it in. You can have CC and BCC on the emails as well. If you want to have multiple email addresses, you just need to separate by a comma, but make sure you don't put a space, so no space. And you can also have a separate reply to email address. So if it's going to come from you, but it's a reply to somebody else, put it in there so that when the user presses reply, it will go straight to them rather than to you. All the other headings are completely optional. The only one that's absolutely guaranteed you must have is email address spelt like this. So a capital E, capital A, and a space. Because what the system will use, it will look for that address, that heading, and it will use all the email addresses going down. Okay, you cannot have additional data. If we had additional data here, it would still send the emails for the bits at the top, but then you'd also get some errors because it would try and do emails down here, because what the system looks for is the very last row. So if there's any issues there, it won't work. So let's go back to how this works. Okay, the first top bit, if you need a tutorial, there's a link there. The YouTube link will be to this video there as well. The subscription, if you want to subscribe, you can click the button and go through the subscription there. But we'll get on to the main bits of how it works. You'll notice here you've got select email template. So if we go back to email template, okay, this is all of the different templates are here going down here. And the email template it is using is those headings. Okay, so you can see an email subject, those headings are what are being listed here. So for example, if I add in a new template, just there, I press refresh lists. If I now check this, at the bottom you've got new template. So you can add as many templates as you want going down. All this is a very fast way to change the template you're using. Okay, so if I show you, at the moment it's using like this email template full name one. If I change it to Year 7 Autumn Term 1, which is pretty much blank, you'll now see these are examples and Autumn Term 1's gone in there. If I now change it back to example template, it's going to automatically update that. So all it is a very quick way to change this template, but you can manually just go in and change whatever's in A1 and A2 are what the system uses. So you don't have to use the templates, you can literally just type it straight into here in order to use it. You also have the option to send emails as HTML emails. So at the moment, these are not HTML emails. And in order to add a space, if we press enter, it just exits the cell. Now, if you're not aware, if you hold Control and press enter, you can add, space returns in. If you don't like the way these emails look, you want to improve the quality, as I say, you can choose HTML emails, but you will need to understand how HTML tags work. For example, you'll need to be able to put in a paragraph tag there and there, for example, would make sure that is on a new line. And as long as I added these paragraph tags going through, it would put it on the correct lines as I went. So if you're confident using HTML, you can. It does make the emails look much better, but obviously you need a little bit of knowledge there of HTML tags. It is something you could probably just use AI to help you do very easily, so I'll leave that entirely up to you, obviously. A Customize sender name is where when you use the system to send an email address, it will just put the email address it's been sent from as the sender's name. That's fine, but if you want it to look a bit better, you can choose that option so that when you go to send your email, it will ask you what you want the sender's name to be, and you can update that. Email quota. Now you can see here I've got 1,500 emails I can send a day. Now that is because this is a Google domain. It is, it's a full educational domain, and therefore it gets 1,500 emails a day. A standard Gmail will only get 100. Now this is not something I can change. This is something built into Google systems. So if you work in an organization that has a full Google Suite domain, you will get 1,500 emails a day. If you're just using a personal Gmail, I'm afraid it is only set to 100, and unfortunately there's nothing I can do about that to increase it for you. So let's get on how this works. So we have our example class, and we have the headings going across the top. And you'll notice in the email, the headings are literally listed in here, but what you have to add is you have to add a $, a curly brace, speech marks, the name, the name of the field, speech marks, curly brace. And as long as you add it in that format, any heading you have across the example class will be listed, and that is no problem. So let's look at this for example then. We're ready to send this email. This one's already done. You can also put the the fields you want to appear in the subject as well as the main text. So what I'll do, I'll use example class. So this is where I select my classes. If I was to add another worksheet, by the way, and then refresh the list, that then will become another class that's available for me to choose. But I'm going to use example class because here's got the data in. I'm going to keep it as a non-HTML email, but I am going to customize the sender name. Now, if I press send a test email, I do advise that you do that. It will take the first row and it will send an email. Now, because I've chosen customize sender name, I need to change the sender name, and I'll press OK. If it can find your email address because you're logged in, it will do it automatically. If for any reason it can't find your email address, it will give a pop-up and allow you to type in an email address you want to send it to. So now we go here, example template, you see the name has been put into the subject. So we can see here the email's been sent, there's the details all filled in, but this was our test email, so it's only been sent to the top row, and then it's just stopped. So what we can do now is we can click on send emails properly, and this time, so we press send emails. I haven't selected enter the name, so it's going to send 4. And if we go across here, you see it's put the sent column in, and that one will update as well. And it's sent 4, the quota gets updated, etc. So now when we go back to email, I'm going to have a lot more emails. Okay, one for each one now. So if I go onto that, you can see the difference here where it's got the sender name is just the email address it's been sent from. Where if we go back to the original one, see it said Mr. State. So that's how the sender name works. So it just looks a bit better if you add a sender name, which is why I added the feature. Okay, so that is basically it actually, because what we use it for is sending the details of the fields that you have in your tracking sheet essentially. I use this as a teacher for I use the Google Sheet tracker to record homeworks, classwork, assessments, sort of thing. And if I want to send the details to each pupil, I produce use a template, produce an email, and then a couple of clicks, and I've sent it to every single one, a personalized email for them. So that is Magic Mail Merge in a nutshell. Okay, I hope you find it very useful. It's a very cheap add-on. It's only $5.99 for the whole year, and you can use it as much as your domain allows you to use.